The fall of Star Wars is the fans' fault. It's not Disney's fault. Disney made it. They tried their hand with their political nonsense, and they won. They would have lost if the fans just said no. It's like a kid, like, what do you see? When you see, let's say you're at a playground and you're seeing this, 3-year-old or 4-year-old have like a temper tantrum, tantrum. That's the word I'm looking for. And they're screaming and they're, balling up their fists and they're kicking things, they're punching things. And what does a good parent do? They look at them straight in the eye and they say, stop. And then the kid will cast themselves on the ground and say, oh, woe is me, I'm being punished. But the parent says, stop. If fans just did that, if they said that to Disney, if they said, stop. No money, no views, no tickets sold, no merchandise, no nothing. Stop it. And Disney became irrelevant because of that, we would have won. But we lost. And it's the fans' fault. It's not Disney's fault. It's not Disney's fault for producing the evil that they wanted to produce because that was their plan. It's evil, it's wicked, and they'll have their own judgment and comeuppance in their own way, however long and far into the future. But the fall of Disney is fans' fault. Professor Geek said it a couple of years ago. We had the best time. We had that ripe time to say no during the pandemic. We had the time as fans to make them suffer. We had the time in the pandemic for Disney, for Hollywood to suffer, to feel the squeeze, to feel the financial squeeze. But we didn't have the discipline. We didn't have the discipline. So I know that's really harsh. And I could take the blame too for, talking about the bad writing of the Siege of Mandalore. I could take the blame. I can be held accountable for that. But the horrendous evil and nonsense that Disney gets away with is not their fault. We've allowed them to do that. It's the fans' fault. It's our fault. And we got to develop some sacrificial ability. We've got to build this capacity, this threshold for sacrifice, for personal sacrifice, to say, I'm not watching it. And I think even for me, with talking about this on my YouTube channel, even though I'm not monetized or anything, I should actually have the discipline to say no too. And I'll think of other things to talk about too. But for the YouTubers out there, just remember, you're fueling the fire by watching the stuff. At the very least, don't watch it. You could talk about it, but don't watch it. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to others. And that's all I have to say.